starts as a simple game. We call it drafts or checkers by name. Like life, it gets a little bit more stalemate. It's the same board but more complicated. Like life, it's all black or white, right and wrong, and the dark and the light. The different pieces do such different things, the rich and the poor in the court of the king. If you don't wanna end up dead, then it's probably best to think a few steps ahead when you have to practice for mastery to enact this life strategy. There are big pieces that we think are important, like just because they're rich they do anything they want to. The small pieces none of us seem to mind, sending them in first to the firing line. The king always makes a mess, the queen has always been her best. A bishop that won't confess, don't you mess with any chess. The knight is on quite the quest, the rook goes north, south, east and west. And yes, if you're born a pawn, this life is a test, don't you mess with any chess. Big pieces live at the back where it is safe from any attack there. The pawn is always born on the front lines, living out his life one step at a time. Every pawn they get sent out first, and yes, we tend to think of them as the worst. And yes, each one a sister and brother, send them all in just to kill each other. The royals get to pick how they move and dance, and yes, every pawn is forced and made to advance. And yes, of all the pieces that you get, it is only the pawn that takes no backward step. But if they reach the other side of the game, then yes, this little man he gets remade. When you fight with every breath and every move for your dreams, any one of us pawns can be reborn as a queen. The king always makes a mess, the queen has always been her best. A bishop that won't confess, don't you mess with any chess. The knight is on quite the quest, the rook goes north, south, east and west. And yes, if you're born a pawn, this life is a test, don't you mess with any chess. It is ebony and ivory, we are two races yet neither free. Split them both up and then yup, you'll see, they will make us fight until eternity. Oh, why is it so perverse? The rules say white always gets to go first. If you're black, you play defensive, white is on the attack, you start the whole game one step back. If white initiates all plans, black has to evade or raise up its hands. If the whole of life is self-defense, then for white to go first is a curse that makes no sense. Each one, yes, a sister or brother, send them all in just to kill each other. I would replace war with a more peaceful status, so every player's sure black pieces matter. The king always makes a mess, the queen has always been her best. A bishop that won't confess, don't you mess with any chess. The knight is on quite the quest, the rook goes north, south, east and west. And yes, if you're born a pawn, this life is a test, don't you mess with any chess. The pawn is required, but they know that they fear them. Doctors, teachers, cops, cleaners, mops, engineers. Then they say we need way fewer cops than we thought, until someone went and pulled out a gun on their daughter. They don't want to pay the soldier 1 penny more, then they won't send out their own kin to fight any wars. And they won't pay the firefighter one little raise, then the boss thinks differently when his own house is ablaze. And they won't give another single dime to a teacher, and then they wonder why none of the kids can be reached. Yeah, they say okay, let us pay all of the nurses less, until they're sick and worse and end up in the hospital beds. When you're saved by a pawn who is really a stranger, then it's time to say the pawns are really our angels. The color matters not, all the pieces are the same. It is all one board, it is all one game. The king always makes a mess. The queen has always been her best. A bishop that won't confess. Don't you mess with any chess. The knight is on quite the quest. The rook goes north, south, east and west. And yes, if you're born a pawn, this life is a test. Don't you mess with any chess. The king always makes a mess. The queen has always been her best. A bishop that won't confess. Don't you mess with any chess. The knight is on quite the quest. The rook goes north, south, east and west. And yes, if you're born a pawn, this life is a test. Don't you mess with any chess.